Good morning. How are you this morning? I hope you are having a fabulous week so far. I am getting ready to get on the road. And so Tami here, confidence coach. I wanted to share with you this morning and chat with you about vulnerability. This is a really, has been in the past, a really hard topic for me. So I wanted to share this morning. So with my team, we are reading the culture code. And so I try to find creative ways to keep my leaders excited and engaged. And so we are reading this book together. We're basically doing a book club. We read 2 chapters a week, and each Monday on our manager's call, we go over the chapters and we talk about our takeaways and what those chapters, what our takeaways were from the 2 chapters we read. And since I was out on Monday, we did our book club piece yesterday. And so interestingly enough, the 2 chapters that we talked about yesterday really dealt with vulnerability, and they dealt with them in I felt like just such a brilliant way. And so there was a story about a pilot, and he encountered just an experience where he didn't know how to handle it. And so it's life or death. And so initially, his thought is he's the pilot, he's the leader, he's in charge. He's got to make sure everybody thinks that he's in control. And so he's telling them, I got this, I know what I'm doing. He's telling himself that, and he's making everybody believe he's got this. However, he didn't. It's a situation he had no idea what to do with. And so finally it just dawned on him, if he keeps going down that path and doesn't engage the others and try to come up with a solution, they're going to crash. They're going to potentially die. So he brings the crew in. He's just really vulnerable with them. He's like, hey guys, look, this is a situation. I have no idea. I don't know what to do with this. I need your help. So they all just start brainstorming together, using their different strengths, kind of pitching around different ideas, and they end up saving the plane. And what was so interesting is, I think it was MIT, they did some different studies and simulated that same situation. And every single time the pilot just stayed within themselves and was like, I got this, I'm in charge, I'm going to just figure this out, the plane would crash. But whenever, whenever the pilot would get vulnerable and just tell his, engage with the crew, they would, hey, Miss Lena. Whenever the pilot would get vulnerable and engage with the crew and they would collaborate together, every time they would come up with all these ideas and the plane would land safely. And it was just so interesting as my team and I were talking about, these chapters and what our takeaways were. And, some of the thoughts and some of the things we were talking about was about vulnerability and how as a leader, it can sometimes be difficult to be vulnerable with our staff. And I was thinking about this even, if you don't lead a team, we're leaders in other ways. We're leaders as moms and as wives and in our communities. And I think sometimes, I know for me, it's been hard sometimes because I think there was a piece where I had related vulnerability to weakness. I need to be seen as I got this. I know what I'm doing. I'm strong. They can lean on me. But here was what came out of those chapters that I thought was just so beautiful, that I really wanted us to chat about this morning, was that when we in these positions of leadership, when we do not, hi Miss Melissa, when we're not vulnerable, then we don't allow others to share their gifts and to use their gifts and collaborate with us. And so many times it really takes a collaborative effort for us to have a successful solution or resolution. We weren't put here on earth to do this all by ourselves. So as the leader, and like I said, that could be even, it's not necessarily, while yes, I lead a big team, I'm a leader in other ways, and so are you, you know, as moms, as wives, as team moms, as, hi, Miss Lupita, as, you know, just all these things we do in the community. Those are positions of leadership. We aren't meant to do that alone. And so when we don't allow ourselves to be vulnerable and say, hey, I need help in this, or hey, I don't know how to do this, what are your thoughts? We then deny others the opportunity to use the gifts that God gave them. We deny others the opportunity to be involved in whatever it is that we're doing. And so sometimes we deny them that blessing. And I had never really seen it like that. And also that vulnerability, what I saw through these chapters in this book was it built so much trust. They saw that pilot in such a different light. Rather than him saying he knew something and crashing the plane, by bringing them in, they really had a trust in him. They built a strong relationship with him. He showed them that he saw them not by their titles. He saw them as valuable. He saw them as worthy. And so it was just such a good lesson and such a good reminder to me. And I'm so grateful to my staff. Hi, Miss Melinda. It was just such a great reminder to me that being vulnerable is not weakness. It actually takes strength to show those vulnerable pieces of us. It's harder to let people see the things we don't know. It's harder to let people see when we need help. It's harder. Hi, Miss Miranda. How are you this morning, gorgeous? It's hard to let people in when we're hurting. All those vulnerable spaces are actually harder and take more strength than just saying, I got this, I don't need help, I'll do this on my own. So the things that I used to view as strength, I'm now seeing how it actually takes more strength to be vulnerable. So I'm so grateful for this book. If you lead a team, the Culture Code is great. Like I said, we're doing it as a book club, and it's really, really just got some really great golden nuggets in it. But I really did see how it really touched my heart, how, you know, it doesn't matter if we lead a big team. We are leaders in so many ways. We're leaders as moms. We're leaders as wives. We're leaders in our communities. And I really want to challenge our thought process on vulnerability as to whether we see that as a weakness or whether we see that as a strength. Because these chapters and my staff really help me and help reinforce how strong we need to be to step into that space of vulnerability. So I hope today you'll practice with me being vulnerable, allowing people in, allowing them to step into the light that they are wanting to shine, and that way our light can shine as well, and we can just really, really step into that soulful confidence. I love you guys. Pray for me. I'm going to be on the road today. I'm praying for you, and I'm just so grateful to have you as a part of my journey, and I'm blessed beyond belief to be a part of yours. I love you guys.